All right, we're live. So, if for everybody watching and everybody that's about to start watching, we put these out through our email list and our customer list and all of our social media. I have a special guest today. We're going live. If you've been following us for anytime over the last few years, we have something cool we do. It's called Cheers to Charity. And typically with Dugout, it's our mission statement. It's to celebrate and serve heroes of the baseball community by creating uniquely fun gifts. And we decided to go outside of that a little bit and serve heroes of the community. And Folds of Honor, for those who don't know, that's our Cheers to Charity Q3 recipient. This is Ben Leslie. You're Senior Vice President of Folds, is that correct?
Yeah, I am.
So to say you're busy is an understatement, especially with all the stuff y'all got going on right now. So for you to cut out some time and just jam with us on a Friday, man, I appreciate you a lot.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having us. It means a lot.
Absolutely. So I always want to start off. Some may already be very familiar, but many may not. And that's probably with our baseball heavy group. I want to touch on Folds of Honor, right? I mean, I could try, but it's not going to even do justice. So fill me in on a minute or two on what you guys are doing. And I think it's going to really resonate with our tribe and they'll understand why we went with y'all for Cheers to Charity.
So nice. Thanks for asking, Kris. So Folds of Honor, I'm in Owasso, Oklahoma, where we were founded by Colonel Dan Rooney, F-16, highly decorated fighter pilot, and his wife, Jackie, here in Oklahoma above their garage. And our mission has never wavered. It's laser focused. And I think that's why people appreciate, they know where their money going. We're a military nonprofit that awards academic scholarships to children and spouses of servicemen and women who've been disabled or killed in action. And since that day that Dan, Colonel Rooney, and Jackie founded the foundation in 2007, Kris, it's just been a humbling, biblical ride for our little noble mission here at Folds of Honor. It's been amazing. We've awarded nearly 44,000 life-changing scholarships, given away, not including this fall, over $200 million to these just most deserving military families.
I didn't know that. That's amazing.
And
what's news to me?
Another thing, and I think you do know this because you wouldn't have picked us to represent your community and your tribe. At Dugout is we're one of the top rated charities in the country. And you knew this, little bit over 91 cents out of every dollar that you guys contribute, that our donors contribute, our partners contribute, goes right back into our scholarship programs, which is unique. And there's a lot of unbelievable groups doing stuff that you hear about. They get a lot of recognition that are, the Red Crosses of the world and the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, and the Wounded Warrior Project who are doing unbelievable things. But their ratios are in the 70s, high 70s, low 80s, which is admirable. Folds of Honor takes it to a whole nother level. We're in the, in the 90s.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't realize the magnitude, right? Like a couple $100 million. That's no joke. How long is it? When was it founded again?
So Colonel Rooney, he founded Folds of Honor in the summer of 2000. The PGA
relatively new. I mean, it's 22 years, but that's still pretty new.
Oh yeah, no, we've been
to reach that kind of level. That's nuts.
Yeah, we still consider Folds of Honor growing. We just 14 years of giving out scholarships, and it's scaled significantly. Over the last 5 or 6 years, we have unbelievable partners just like you guys that your listeners will recognize. They may see our logo on Budweiser beer cans. At Winn-Dixie grocery stores.
I've seen them at golf courses.
Patriot Golf Day. Our golf community is so patriotic and supportive. The money that we raise at golf facilities stays in the communities in which it is given. So it's a unique, localized fundraising program. We believe we're overly flexible, so we get to achieve the whatever the donors want us to do. We try to make that happen by helping families in local communities. And Anheuser-Busch, which is a significant partner to Major League Baseball, stepped up 10, 11 years ago, and haven't left us since. So every year we have a unique Budweiser beer can. It's either camo, it's Americana, and we get a nickel of every case equivalent of Budweiser sold in the country. We book in 2 patriotic holidays, Memorial Day and the 4th of July, and they've given us roughly $19 million since then, and we award it back into the communities from which it came from. So it's just been unbelievable. Yeah.
So the ties to baseball and actually AB. So I don't know if you saw those, but we work with Bud, Coors, Miller, a lot of them. But Budweiser.
We're not allowed to talk about Coors and Miller. We talk about.
We're not going to talk about them. We're going to talk about how awesome and badass these Budweiser are. So which is really cool. So we blew them away because Budweiser. I mean, top. King of beers, right? One of the top brands ever, in outside of just beer, like one of the top brands ever. And I remember it was last year, I was flipping through Facebook or Instagram, and Budweiser sent us a message that, hey, we'd love to collaborate with you guys. Yeah. How flattering was that? And so obviously my laser team, which by the way, we'll talk about these in a minute, but my laser team that engraves our baseball bat mugs, he's like, oh man, I got some design ideas, and they went to work on it and absolutely crushed it. And ever since, our mugs have been sold on shopbeergear.com, where they have the Budweiser mugs. But also you mentioned, you only touched on it, but I actually want to touch a little deeper on it. So your ties to baseball, where you're located in particular is right up there in the heart of baseball. And there's actually some pretty exciting things in St. Louis that are happening right now with Albert Pujols. There's some really bright stars that are coming out of Kansas City, right? The Negro Leagues up there in Kansas City, that they're starting to get a lot of momentum behind them. We've worked with them a number of times. Right. So tell us a little bit about how Folds and baseball, because this was also how the conversation started. Before I even learned more about your organization, it started, I think I was LinkedIn or something, and chatting about baseball and beer and just patriotic charities and things like that. And then y'all popped right to the top.
Yeah, it's been an unbelievable decade with Major League Baseball for Folds of Honor. It started on the Intrepid in New York with Dave Winfield, and we gave out a scholarship to a family up in New York, and Dave got us connected to the Yankees. And then we started collaborating with Anheuser-Busch, who's got all these mom and pop wholesalers, 500 or so across the country, that all support local hometown baseball teams. So we went up to New York, had an unbelievable day awarding scholarships to recipients in New York with Reggie Jackson. And so Reggie was flying his Folds of Honor t-shirt. Colonel Rooney and him were throwing out first pitches. Recipients were throwing out first pitches. And so that kind of set the stage for what other Major League Baseball teams could do. And some of them have done just that over the last 9 years. They bring out a hometown hero. They let a recipient whose parent has been killed in action throw out a first pitch. A widow whose husband or wife has been killed in action throw out a first pitch. A family of someone who's been severely disabled take part in a game as a hometown hero. But I can tell you that the St. Louis Cardinals and the Kansas City Royals have really taken it up a notch. And St. Louis, Busch Stadium, obviously the King of Beers, is right around the corner. So we have a little bit of a tie, and it's 3.5 hours from Tulsa. We do a lot of check presentations on the field with Anheuser-Busch. There's a grocery store chain there called Schnucks that gives us a few $1 million a year.
Definitely give them a shout out for sure.
Yeah, Schnucks is awesome, and they do it as well. And then the Royals, they got a little bit more creative in a different way, and they which was unbelievably generous, because they've been in the hunt or winning every year for a long time now. Here recently, they gave Folds of Honor 13 seats right on the third base line for us to give away to local recipients, to have a unique experience that they otherwise probably couldn't go to. They get on the Jumbotron, they go on the fields, they come home with something autographed. Maybe we'll get them a Royal Dugout mug, get them integrated.
I know a guy. We could work that out.
Yes, sir. And so it's been nice. The Royals are just they answer their phones, they answer their emails, they never say no. They're around at galas that we do. And the ball players are overly patriotic and kind of get our mission and recognize our recipients at every home game.
Yeah, I think, whether it's somebody watching it now or watching this video 5 weeks from now, if you really try to stop and and you mentioned something about the ball players, but like just people, if you really put yourself in the position of the folks that you're helping, I mean, I'm married, I have kids. I could not imagine what would happen to them with them if it was over for me. Right. And like the reality that these people have to deal with, and especially, and I don't even mind saying, especially in a community like it is now with so many people with so many opinions about so many things they don't know about, and they skip right past the reality of that person's situation. The fact that there's folks out there helping those people is I mean, there really aren't words for that, to be honest. I know a lot. A friend of mine was just here. He owns a apparel company. He was just visiting, and he's 19 years Army. And like, people don't really get. We're just down there talking just before this, completely unrelated to this call. And man, the things that people have to endure, and then the ultimate sacrifice, and the family's just like left standing. I don't know, man. That's tough. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, what you're doing, and I apologize. You're providing hope and healing. I mean, Dugout is, your community is, the people who buy these items, they're going to have a way to support these military families when they buy something that has our logo on it, because it's going to go back and we're going to put it directly into our scholarship program. Yep. And so there's a little bit of hope and a little bit of healing with every purchase that you make.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good in for it. So I put the link here, but so we have a few different, so we did Folds of Honor. These right here these are inked edition,
wow.
The UV printing. So for those who don't know, which I don't know who is watching this that doesn't know who we are, but we take baseball bat barrels and we turn them into mugs. And then we also have the engraved edition.
Unbelievable.
Which you got one of these, right? Like, you saw them in person.
I have not yet, but I have seen them right now. Yeah, Diane's hogging everything.
She's got them.
Yeah, that's all good.
But then we did have the baseball bat handles, and they went full engraving.
Oh, so
anyway, but the entire collection, right? So if you go to dugoutmugs.com/fold, you'll see the whole collection. But it's amazing. Like, we have the shot glasses, and we have the cutters, and we did a full product line. And it's actually worth mentioning, this is the first initiative, Cheers to Charity, that we're going to let run all year round. We're not going to do this just quarterly. We're going to let it keep running. So the people in your community, the regional impact officers, the ones doing the golf tournaments and the galas and everything, they're going to have access to these products year round. And we're going to leave it live for you guys. So that's awesome. So definitely, if you want to support Folds, or you know somebody, or you are somebody who has gone through this, and had a loved one make the ultimate sacrifice, like, these are really cool mugs to have. And we have some really neat ones that I don't know if you probably haven't seen them yet, because I only got them yesterday, but they're hand painted by a veteran with a story. One of them is his daughter helped design the mug with him, and he hand painted it. So it's an artist. We're going to auction them off, and I'll raise that money for you guys as well. But it's a really cool program. That's an understatement, that. Yeah. But we're pumped to be a part of it.
The baseball, I like all of them. The creative one was that the baseball that's cut in half, and it's an opener. Yeah.
It's awesome.
With our logo on it, was unique. Yeah. If you're a donor out there, you can visit the link and purchase this, knowing that 100% of it's going to go back to help our recipients. And if you're a veteran and has a family and wants to learn more about our scholarship program, please visit foldsofhonor.org, because we can help you. You'll learn a lot about how you apply, the season. Kris and I were talking before the broadcast. It's kind of unique and special, but time flies. Oh my gosh. The middle of August, we just awarded scholarships for our recipients who are starting school. So we're getting all these back to school pictures, and pictures with your mom, some kids holding a photo of their father because he was killed in action and is not able to experience this with them. But they send us those pictures because they're going to school on a Folds of Honor scholarship. And so
But
we have about
how many though? You told me a number and I was impressed with how many people are being helped right now.
Yeah, well, Kris, you got a lot to do with it, man. We've got 9,000 recipients right now. We got recipients in every state, and we've got 2 unique programs. We have a children's fund, which allows children K through 12 to go to private school, and then we also have a higher ed scholarship fund, which is just that. It allows the spouse or the kid to go to higher ed. And higher ed, man, it doesn't have to be Oklahoma State University. It could be plumbing, culinary, electrical work, tankless hot water heater installation school. We're not telling anybody what to do with their dreams. We just want to help them achieve them. And so our program is wide open to all those unique programs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like, it's even when you're talking like kids taking pictures of their father who was killed in action at school. Yeah. I don't know how well I'd be able to even see that photo because like I took the day off to take both my little girls to school. I have 2 little girls. I can't even really put myself in the shoes of not doing that, right? Or ever again doing that.
Yeah.
Like that just hits different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we want to be here to help them. We want to honor that sacrifice. We want to help educate their legacy, which is our mission statement. Very simple. And it's real. It happens. And we just want to be here to help people just like you're doing.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the events you got coming up. Obviously, I know. So just so people understand the infrastructure, because they can help locally in different areas in different ways.
Yeah.
I've been blessed. It looks like Dee's on here. So yeah, I've been working with her a lot. But I know there's regionals, right? Like there's regional impact officers, and then they do galas and tournaments and things. What is coming up in the next 120 days, 90 days until the end of the year?
We've got November is a very special month for us. I mean, Veterans Day is November the 11th. And so we take that as an opportunity to honor our recipients. So we've got multiple galas. Diane Markle, who you keep referencing in Indianapolis, has a gala coming up here next couple of days. We've got one in Dallas. We've got one in Kansas City where there will be some Royals in attendance.
Nice.
St. Louis has a gala. We've got 31 chapters now, Kris, and they all do unique. We've had celebrity softball matches in Nashville. We've had cornhole tournaments. We've got radiothons. We have galas. We have golf tournaments. If you're a corporation that wants to support Folds of Honor, you can look us up, and we can restrict it to help recipients in your community, in your footprints. But the next 90 days, they're a lot of fun for us. There's so much excitement going on across this country. And you look back, 13 years ago when Colonel Rooney started this organization with a goal to help one family, and what he has created and the passion that he has implemented across this country, taking this little noble mission to this exciting, life-changing movement, for lack of a better word. With 31 different chapters, doing stuff. And we used to have none.
Oh, wow. There's 31. Wow. That's awesome.
And we have 31 localized chapters in major metropolitan areas. And they're all unbelievable patriots, selfless, creative, generous, and they're all giving back to help military.
They're the people that not a lot of people are admitting are out there.
That's right.
There's a lot of good people doing good and doing well, right?
Yeah, they are. They're unbelievable.
And yeah,
my heroes for sure.
They're skipping watching the news, and they're getting straight to helping and giving back and doing good by people, man.
Yeah, they're rolling up their sleeves and they're working.
Yeah, getting dirty.
Yeah,
you got to do that. I see Juan. I see you just jumped in and made a comment. Juan Barrett. I think I pronounced that correct, buddy. He's the one that did the painting. So the mugs that are coming are going to be coming from him. He's a veteran as well. Yeah. So wait till you see him. Diane already saw him. So they turn out pretty awesome.
Yeah.
For anybody just joining, what we're doing, obviously, if you followed us, but you know what we're doing. It's Cheers to Charity, Folds of Honor. It's this quarter's recipient. We didn't just do mugs. We did the whole thing. We got the mugs. We got the openers. We got the cutters and the shot glasses, the whole 9 yards. And just go to dugoutmugs.com/folds. And you can order, you can support. But if you don't need or want a mug, you can absolutely still participate. Find Folds of Honor on all social media. I know they're on at least the 3 or 4 that I frequent. So
Yep.
find them there and connect and find out what's going on in your local chapter, what's happening. If you got people that you want to nominate or introduce that have, that maybe have a spouse or a child that is in need of help of a fallen soldier. I'm assuming these are all accurate statements, right? I
Yeah,
encourage
you're doing
people to do that.
Yep. That's
Awesome.
right.
Awesome. I did want to touch on something. So we talked about the next 90, but let's talk about the last 30, because you did something a few weeks ago for the first time, and that was transition even further out than military. And you started doing some of my favorite people, first responders as well, if I'm correct.
We did. We've been. I don't know if selfish is the right word since Colonel Rooney started the organization, but we've been focused on helping military families. And every year, we get inquiries from first responders families, and in our own community, we have firemen that have died in the line of action, and the police officers that have been killed in the line of duty, and it is sad. And their family gets left behind. And we've been, watching this happen and trying to connect the families with agencies that help first responders. And there's actually not that many. And so we've been preparing for this announcement for almost 13 months now. And how do you find out? What's the distribution? We want to make sure it doesn't impact our current legacy recipients and helping military families. So we don't want to dilute our program at all. We just want to keep growing it. And we also got a lot of phone calls from our corporate donors and chapters saying, we really want to help first responders. You guys are the best. You guys know how to do it. You have the back end. You know how to award the scholarships. I forgot to tell you, Kris, when we award a scholarship, we don't send the money to the recipient. We send it directly to the institution that they attend.
Oh, okay.
So again,
that's good information.
Yeah, and it's direct, it's clean, it's the donor knows exactly what all the money's going to scholarships, and so these corporations are like, you guys have a reputation and a presence in this community. You need to think about doing this. And to Colonel Rooney's credit, he was patient. We did our research. We figured out how to do it first, and we just announced on September the 12th that we're going to have our first window to award first responder scholarships this spring.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyone,
because they're still out there doing similar things.
That's right. They're running
heroes
towards danger. I mean, and so that we're thinking anyone who's running towards danger, we should be there to help their families.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. We did. I remember there was a fallen fireman, and he had 4 boys, or he had 3 boys. And I took the project on myself, and I went in and we took his badge, and I digitized the badge, and we engraved the badge. I got some old paperwork of his, and I took his signature off of it. We put the signature underneath, and we found a note, the last note that he wrote his boys, and we etched it into the back with his handwriting. We just digitized it, and we sent it to the boys because what now?
Yeah.
Right. And for a little boy, especially, having their dad there as they're growing up, at 3 early teenage boys. And I think one of them was older, but I mean, it was an impact piece, right? It was special. Yeah. And that was, I love first responders. We just worked with Pete Alonso from the New York Mets last quarter. Pete's an amazing human. I had so much fun with him. Such a great guy. And he's got the Alonso Foundation, and they're doing a lot with first responders. But it's Justin Turner from the Dodgers, same thing. He's helping homeless veterans, and he has a few different things that he's doing.
Right.
But so like if I can help it, we're going to keep helping the people that are helping us behind the scenes that don't demand any attention or respect for it. So I'm happy to be working with you guys. I love it. And we're going to run this year round, and I hope it just keeps better and better. And
we do too.
I don't think we'll ever be Anheuser-Busch, but we can certainly be here to help share your story. And I think sometimes that's enough. Yeah. If the right people are listening and the right people are sharing and doing it for the right reasons, it's that organic growth that really just builds and keeps momentum, you know, and I hope we can do that for you to the best of our ability.
It'll be perfect. That's for sure.
We're a baseball company that makes really cool cups. Like, it's not a direct correlation, but I think we have aligned interests, right? And for me as a CEO and, you know, co-founder of this company, you know, I'm in. So one last time for roll, because I promised you I'd always steal 25 minutes of your day. Folds of Honor, Cheers to Charity Q3 and beyond. We have the inked, we have the etched, we even have, now this is, for those who don't, have you seen these, the stainless?
Oh my God, Diane, I gotta call her.
Yeah, you gotta call her. She's holding out on you.
Yeah, man, she's busy though. Diane's working.
I know.
Helping. Yeah,
she texts me back like late at night. This is my personal drinker. This is the one I carry around. It's the Stars and Stitches logo. But these are, you hear the water in there? Look at this. They're spill proof.
Wow.
Because of the lids, we crafted these custom. They're slide lids. These 20 ounces are amazing for like kids bags if you do travel ball. But we have these with the Folds of Honor full color print logos on there as well. Sweet. So dugoutmugs.com/folds. Just go shopping, get some, buy some. And if you want, some people have done this in the past. Reach out to our customer service and say, hey, I want to buy 5 mugs. And they'll contribute that way. And then we'll take those mugs and we'll donate them to like the guys or the girls at your seats in Kansas City. So they can buy mugs and they don't really need them or want them. They just want to help. So if that's something you want to do, reach out to support@dugoutmugs.com and let us know. And we'll go ahead. We'll pull the trigger. You can buy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 50, whatever you want. And we'll donate them back. And then they can distribute them to the kids. My kids take water bottles to school every single day. So there's a lot of ways to help and get involved. And I encourage everybody to do all of them.
Love it. You guys are amazing. Thanks for having us on. Thanks for all your support. Thanks for your patriotism.
Oh, 100%. You can't see it, but I got a flag over here and there's another one hanging over there. Yeah, I'm in. And I appreciate your time as well. We're at 27 minutes, so I'm going to let everybody get on. Have an amazing Friday and drink from a bat. That's all I got.
If I had one, brother, I wouldn't be drinking out of this plastic bottle. I'm going to call Diane. She's in trouble.
Yeah, she knows it too. All right, guys. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thanks, sir.